Hi everybody, this is Ospreyeye from MyChartCoach.com, and we're going to take a look at some of the ticker symbols that closed in play on Friday. Okay, first up, let's take a look at VNRSQ. Big day, closed up 158% on Friday. Congrats to everyone that was on this play. Closed in the 50 to 70 bull zone, so at 64, it's still not out at overbought levels. Temporarily overbought here on Fasto, if you can see here, it has topped out in the past at this level, pulled back. So we'll see if it can stay above 80 on Fasto. Okay, there was a bullish crossover down here on ADX. The green line crossed the black and red line to the upside. So that was signaling the bulls were taking control. If we look down here at the chart, there was a parabolic SAR bullish flip. Notice the green dots flip below the candles. The big move on Friday was the close above the middle Bollinger Band and the 50-day simple moving average, currently at 0.050, the green line right here. So that was a big close above that level. Now it needs to break the high close over here. So it's the closing price here on the first trading day in June. That's going to be the key level to break, and it also needs to turn the 100-day simple moving average at 0.067 into support. That's the gold line. Notice the candle did close above the upper Bollinger Band, so you could see a pullback into the band on Monday after this big move. And so what bulls want to see is they want to see the 50-day simple moving average turn into support and the middle Bollinger Band hold. If that happens, a new uptrend could begin. If you look back here, the two closes here above the middle Bollinger, or above the 50-day simple moving average, that level failed to hold and the candles pulled back. So what we're looking for now is a bullish change in trend. We want to see another close above that level to break the previous trend, and then we want to see it turn into support. For next week, the big levels to break is going to be the gold line here. If the candles can stay above the 100-day simple moving average, you could see a big run higher. So keep an eye on it. We're looking for a possible new uptrend beginning. Check out the big volume spike as well. So there was big money behind the move. So VNRSQ is in play. Okay, check out ORIG. Okay, big move on Friday, closed up 66%. Okay, once again, RSI at 61. There's still room to run until the 70 overbought level. This is the first time RSI has been above 50 since all the way back here in January. So the chart is really heating up. And then you also have Fasto at 68, and so it's not at overbought levels either. So 80 is overbought on Fasto. You got a nice crossover here on ADX, crossed the plus DI, crossed minus DI, the green line crossed the red line to the upside, and then it crossed the black line as well, which is ADX. What bulls want to see, you want to see that green line stay above the black line, and then that would signal the bulls are in control. Okay, so this is similar to the last chart. There was a bullish move above the 50-day simple moving average. That's the green line here, currently at 0.1 at 19 cents. And so it also closed just above the upper Bollinger Band. Many times when that happens, the candles work back into the bands. So what we want to see, if it pulls back below that 50-day simple moving average on Monday, is you want to see that middle Bollinger Band at 15 hold. As long as it holds, a new uptrend should begin. If the 50-day simple moving average holds, then we want to see a launch off of that and a potential run up here to the 100-day simple moving average at 34. Okay, so key level resistance levels to break. Okay, back here in this 25 to 27 zone, that was big resistance back in May. If it gets above that, you're going to see some resistance at 30. Okay, so that was the top of the bounce. And so the chart is heating up. Once again, there was really big volume behind the move. There was also the parabolic SAR bullish flip. SAR stands for stop and reverse. So when the dots, these green dots, are above the candles, that's signaling a downtrend. When they flip below, that's signaling the possible start of a new uptrend. We always like to the best time usually to get in is when there's the bullish change in trend is happening. So this is the start possibly of a change in trend. If you look down here on MACD, you've got a bullish crossover on both time frames. So that is another signal that a possible uptrend is starting. So keep an eye on ORIG next week. Okay, let's look at RLOG, another big mover on Friday, closed up 63%. Okay, so RSI at 50, okay, 0.43. Okay, it's great. It broke back above 50. If you notice back here, when it got above 50, that's the last time it had a little run. So it needs to stay above 50 to remain bullish. And then if you look down here, Fasto is below 50, so it needs to get above that level. What happened is the share price on Friday ran all the way up here to the 100-day simple moving average, currently at 0.59, and then it pulled all the way back below the 50-day simple moving average, the green line, and then closed just above the middle Bollinger Band. This long upper wick lowered Fasto. Okay, so Fasto was up here near 80. The big pullback lowered it down below 48. So there is juice in the tank, you know, when it pulls back. But now you got to get past this 50-day simple moving average and this descending resistance line. Notice there's this downtrending channel. So right now the share price is towards the upper end of the channel, and it needs to get above 45 and above the 50-day simple moving average at 477 to run back up and test that 100-day simple moving average at 59. That's going to be the level, big level to break to get back up there and test 70. If the share price pulls below the middle Bollinger Band, that's going to be a major red flag. That level has to hold at 0.368 for this to remain in play. If you notice back here, you know, the candles got there was a close above the middle Bollinger Band, failed to hold, you know, pulled back, closed above, failed to hold, pulled back. So if it fails to hold, you're going to see it pull back again, just like back here. So bulls, you know, in order for this to be a good play, the candles have to stay above the middle Bollinger Band. Notice there was giant volume on Friday, but with the long upper wick, when you have giant volume like that, usually for penny stocks, that's a sign of dilution. The company selling shares. Okay, so down here there is a bullish crossover on the 8, 13, and 5 MACD, and so that's good. You want to see that signal, that the MACD lines or MACD line stay above the signal line, and then it's pinched here, starting to cross over. So you know the chart is heating up. It just needs to follow through and hold support. Okay, let's look at CGI. Okay, closed up 38%. Another big mover. Congrats to everyone that's been following this stock. And yeah, it's got room to run here on RSI. It's not overbought until 70, so it's at 60 right now. It got above 80 on Fasto. Now we've got a big break on Plus DI, so it's back above the black and the red line. So you want to see it stay above that level. And on Friday there was the big bounce. You know, this had a really nice uptrend going. It got above the 50-day simple moving average. It held that level. It looked like it wanted to break out higher, but it pulled back and it dropped back below the middle Bollinger Band. And when it dropped back, it hit that 50-day simple moving average in the lower Bollinger Band and it bounced right off. So on Friday, the close was above high close horizontal resistance, which was this white candle right here from the 29th of June. And so that level needs to turn into support. What we've been looking for on this stock is to fill the gap. And if you notice back here, there's a gap. This is the bottom of the gap, and this is the top. Okay, so this was the close here on the first trading day in May, and then this is the open. And so this created a big space on the chart. And the gap has been getting filled. So once 380 hits, that's the top of the gap. This gap will be filled. A lot of times that's a climax, and you'll see a pullback when that happens. If it closes above the top of the gap, that would signal more upside potential, and it could run up to the 100-day simple moving average at 439. So this was a really nice move on Friday. It had formed a bullish Harry cross reversal pattern here, and so it looks like a bullish reversal confirmation. I mean, this could have been a bullish doji star that's being confirmed. Either way, it looks like bullish reversal confirmation on Friday and potential for more upside next week. There was really good volume behind the move, and it was pretty strong into the close. So notice it was the biggest volume day since back here. So yeah, and then there's the bullish crossover starting on MACD, and so you want to see that signal line stay above the MACD line stay above the signal line, and then you want to see the black line cross the blue line here for a MACD bull cross in the 12, 26, and 9. Okay, let's take a look at the OPGN 15-minute chart that we had showed you last week, and we'll show you. This is a chart from last Thursday that we posted, and then we'll look at the follow through here. The annotations are still from last Thursday, and so we were, you know, it almost made a double bottom, but then it broke down into the close on Thursday, and then notice Friday it basically had a sideways channel the entire day. Look how tight the channel was. I mean, there was a couple wicks that broke above, but pretty much every single real candle candle body formed within this tight channel between 31 and 32. So usually when that happens, it's a signal that the stock is getting ready to bounce when you have a pullback like this. So to us, it looks like this is setting up. Look at the really light volume. It looks like the the sellers have tired. Now it's finding support, and then you have the very tight Bollinger Bands. This solid purple line is the upper Bollinger Band, and the solid purple line down here is the lower Bollinger Band. When they get really tight like this signals that a move is imminent. There's going to be some sort of move. It's either going to be to the upside or the downside, but this channel is going to break on Monday. Okay, and so if there's a break above the green line, which is the 50 simple moving average currently at 0.326, that's going to be the signal that it wants to head higher. We want to see a break above that level and this red descending resistance line at 33. That could signal that it's going to run up here to 36. That's the bottom of the gap, and we just talked about the gaps. There's a gap on this chart between the bottom of this candle and then the top of this candle. Well, that was the close, but yeah. So basically, what we want to see is the yeah. I guess you could go like this too. Let's see, if we go down here, that would be the low of day on this candle for this day, and so that would be the bottom of the gap, and so that's actually lining it up here at 38. Okay, and so this was the closing price right up here on the bottom of this candle. Okay, so a run up to 38 and to the 100 simple moving average would fill the gap between the 12th and the 13th. Yeah, so keep an eye on it. We're looking for a potential bounce. It looks like it's setting up. Okay, let's check out BBEPQ. Okay, yeah, that's a mouthful. This is an over-the-counter stock. Used to trade on the big boards. It made a bullish move on Friday. It closed up 75%. They've been running a lot of these beaten up energy sector stocks, so keep an eye on them. They're in play right now. Notice VNRSQ is a Q as well. Sometimes when they start running the Qs, they just go down the line. It's a pattern. So yeah, so when it happens, you want to be a part of it. So check it out. It closed overbought on R sign Fasto, parabolic move on ADX. Okay, and then this stock had been on a multi-day run. Look at all the green volume bars in a row, and then it had a close above the 50-day simple moving average that we've been talking about, 0.04 on Thursday, and then Friday it had the big breakout. When a stock closes above the 50-day simple moving average and it's been resistance for a long period of time, many times that's the signal that it wants to break out higher. As long as that level holds, that's when big moves sometimes happen, and so that's what happened here, and it had the close above the 100-day simple moving average. That's at 0.069. That's going to be the key level to hold on Monday. If it drops below, you can see the candles work back into the bands. Notice it closed well above the upper Bollinger Band at 0.056. So on a pullback, the EMA4 at 0.054 is going to be the big level to hold. Also, 6 was a big resistance level here, and so that you want to see that turn into support. Notice on Wednesday of last week, this candle right here closed above the descending resistance line. So the break above that level was the bull signal. So take note on that. Yeah, good move here. We'll see if it can follow through next week. Once again, it had the big volume spike. Let's look at TRTC. Okay, this is a marijuana sector stock that we've been following. It's had a really nice run. If you check out this 15-minute chart here, it is hitting resistance here in the 28 to 27 zone, and yeah, if you see here 2750, okay, that this is going to be the big level to break next week. It hit the 28 level right up here, and so we're looking at, if it can break 28, that's going to be the signal that it wants to run higher. Yeah, if you look here, yeah. So I should have had the daily chart for you. I don't have that up right now, but yeah, keep an eye on the 15-minute chart. If it breaks down, you could see a drop down to the 50-day simple moving average, or the 50 simple moving average is 0.2558. Yeah, on the daily chart, TRTC is hitting some key resistance levels. So 28 to 30 is going to be this really big resistance zone to get through. If it can get above 30 next week, that's going to signal a breakout higher. If it hits resistance in this zone here, notice it created kind of a double top, then you could see a breakdown and a pullback. Okay, so we'd like to see this 25-26 zone hold if it does dip, and yeah, it's got a very nice uptrend on the daily chart, so we'd like to see that continue. So keep an eye on TRTC. It was a big winner last week. Okay, let's look at CNBX. Okay, this is another marijuana sector stock, closed up 10% on Friday. What the bullish move on Friday was the close above the 50-day simple moving average, currently at 1.05. Okay, so that was a big close that we were looking for, and so we want to see that level turn into support at 105. And so if it holds, then we're looking at the next level to break as the 200-day simple moving average at 133. So this was a big close above the 50-day simple moving average. It needs to turn the closing price on June 19th. It needs to get above that level. That's the next resistance level to break. High close horizontal resistance. It hit it intraday on Friday. If it can get above that, then you could see a run up to 133. Okay, so this has got, we're looking for a new uptrend to begin and for the 50-day simple moving average to turn into support. So keep an eye on CNBX. Okay, here's a new marijuana sector play for many people. It's a Canadian, Alberta, Canada marijuana producer who has a license, and they're looking at their first harvest in August, and so they're a legal Canadian marijuana grower, and so they've got their first harvest coming up. The chart had pulled back. Okay, if you look down here, we've got we want to see RSI get above 50. We want to see we got Fasto now in the 50 to 80 bull zone, so it's heating up. And so down here, look how it bounced off the bottom, and there's a PSAR bull flip. What you want to see next week is the middle Bollinger Band at 90 turn into support. If that level can hold, you've got all these moving averages here, and so the big one's going to be the 100-day simple moving average at 111. Once it can get back above that level, that's when you could see a run higher. You could be talking about possibly back up to this 160, but there's a bunch of resistance here overhead, so this is one to keep an eye on. We're going to see if we can get a new uptrend going. Okay, now let's look at here at PAOG. Okay, this is another marijuana sector play. It had a nice 2-day move last week. It closed above resistance, so it broke out above a key resistance. We wanted to see it close above 12, and so that happened. And then now the next big level is 17. Okay, that's lining up right here. That's this closing area right here. If we can get above 17, then this could possibly run back up above 2 next week. So keep an eye on PAOG. It has been heating up. And then take a look at HCEI. Okay, this is an OTC play for the people who like to play those OTC stocks. This made a new 52-week high on Friday. It did pull back from the highs, but it is in play, so we're going to just see what can happen to this, you know, if it's going to break out higher. If you look at the 2-year chart, yeah, so we're going to see what happens here. You know, it's coming off of a 52-week high, and we'll see if it can continue moving higher. And then let's look at FLPC. That's another one that's heating up, another OTC play. It had a nice bullish move on Friday on a big volume spike, and so this one is the 17 level, 0.0017. We want to see a close above that, and that could potentially see the 2s back on deck. Okay? All right. Thank you very much for viewing this video. You can check us out at mychartcoach.com and our YouTube channel at mychartcoach.com for more charts and technical analysis. Thanks.